There's a common misconception that's made by Allistics and those that are new to the world of autism that every autistic adult's special interest is one of three things. The special interest is about trains, about computers, or focuses on mathematics. That is not true. And we're going to myth bust today. So join me as I dive deeply into the world of autistic special interests and replace the stereotypes and misconceptions with the truth. Hey, define yourself, for I am the confident autistic. I am an autistic adult, late diagnosed, on a mission to empower you to embrace autism confidently. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I truly appreciate you checking out this video. And regardless if you're new or returning visitor, you can show your support for my mission by liking, sharing, commenting on this video, and by subscribing to the channel. Now, many misconceptions and stereotypes about special interests that we autistic adults have stem from a lack of understanding of autism in general. Now, by challenging these misconceptions, which we're going to do today, and stereotypes, with the reality of what special interests truly are, we will better understand ourselves, which can lead us to embrace autism confidently. As I talk today, you're going to see some examples of what the stereotypes or misconceptions are that our society believes about our special interests. And if you are at the point in your life where you suspect you're autistic, self identify as autistic, or have received a late diagnosis of autism and you hear about special interests, you may want to say, whoa, that's not for me. Because all the stereotypes and misconceptions that we hear in our society. So I want to, in this video, which maybe I should have said earlier, but I'm going to say now, I want to share with you what the truth is about special interests. So you know that this is not a part of your autism you should be ashamed of or embarrassed about. Heck, 75 to 95% of us do have special interests that are on the spectrum. Instead, I want you to know what the facts are so you can be proud of that. And like I say, one of my mission to help you embrace autism confidently. So let's start with a common misconception that I mentioned at the top of this video. And that misconception is that, and it's also a stereotype, that every autistic adult's special interest is one of three things. We either have a special interest in trains, a special interest in computers, or a special interest in mathematics. Now, I'm not saying that's not true. That some of us on the spectrum, we do. But the reality is that our special interests are varied as, as varied as much as we are, and can include anything from knitting to medieval history, culinary arts, fashion, or practically anything else under the sun. Yes, it could be trains. Now, in my case, one of my special interests that I really get into are buses, and I have a whole bunch of buses around here. And one of these days, I'm going to do a video showing you all my buses that I love collecting. So it could be anything out there. Anything could be a special interest. So you don't feel like, well, I, that I need to have a special interest to change just to really fit in with the autism community. Anything is a special interest. Now, there's also a misconception that special interests are only about objects or topics. This is a stereotype and a misconception, and it's wrong. Because the truth is that a special interest can also center on relationships, activities, or concepts such as advocacy, mental health, or social justice. Like I said, anything underneath the sun can be a special interest, especially if it's something that really interests you and possibly even feel very passionate about. Now, unfortunately, many people, and I'm not just talking about Allistics, I'm talking about those that are in our community, especially those who suspect they're autistic, self identifying, or just recently been diagnosed with autism, may see a special interest as someone who immature does or childish. Or by having a special interest, we may see ourselves as being immature or childish. And these people, whether it be the Allistics or ourselves, may assume that if an autistic adult has a passion for, let's say, cartoons or collecting action figures, they are not grown up. Now, the reality is that special interests can be diverse and complex, ranging from astrophysics to art, and are a source of joy, knowledge, and experience and expertise. The nature of the interest is not a measure of maturity. You see in the background here, you only see one of them. That big blue blob in the corner of my screen is a Grover, stuffed Grover. I have off camera in here and around the house, scattered all throughout the house. I have stuffed animals. I love golden labs, and that's one of my special interests. I love those dogs. I would love to have an actual golden lab, but I don't have a fenced-in yard yet, so I don't feel like chasing one down. So I have golden labs, stuffed golden labs. I have a Warmie that's a stuffed golden lab that I use to help with anxiety and stress. I have a giant golden lab sitting in the living room. I have pandas all over the house. I have stuffed animals everywhere. And yes, I will tell you, before I knew I was on the spectrum, I knew this was a special interest. I loved them, right? I thought, but I thought I'm embarrassed about telling people that, and other adults about that, because I don't see a lot of other adults, especially men. I'm not trying to be stereotypical here, who have a lot of stuffed animals or collect a lot of buses. So I was a little bit embarrassed, and I felt, well, that makes me look immature and childish, and I'm not really a grown up because of all of this, and that's bunk. Because the truth is, just because you have some stuffed animals around you does not necessarily mean you're not grown up. Just it makes you feel comfortable. It doesn't matter. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. If it's a special interest, as long as it's not against the law, okay. I don't want to encourage any law breaking here. Engage in it and embrace it. You can still be a grown up and very mature. I mean, I have my own business and all, but I love stuffed animals. So that special interest does not mean I'm immature. It's just a part of who I am. And I'm proud of that. I don't mind sharing that with you. Now, you may think that a special interest must be the same your entire life. And that is not true. The truth is that your special interests can evolve over time, with old ones fading away and new ones emerging in your life. However, some special interests that you have may persist throughout a lifetime. And it is possible, I want to just throw this in here, that it is possible for you to have more than one special interest. Like I have a special interest in stuffed animals. I have a special interest in buses. I have some other special interests that I probably will share on another video or maybe one of my live Q&A sessions. But yeah, I have more than one, and it's okay if you have more than one. And they can evolve in your life. You can go through phases. You can have a special interest, let's say, in 2021, and you didn't have that one in 2022, 2023, but in 2024 you return to that special interest. It's okay, that can happen. It's normal. You don't have to have it the entire life. I know that's one misconception. I believe that whatever my special interest is, it's got to be something I've had since my childhood and that will never go away. And that's not true. It can evolve during your lifetime. Now, as an autistic adult, you may have been told that special interests are obsessive or unhealthy fixations, or you may believe that yourself. The truth is that your special interests often will bring you fulfillment, serve as a coping mechanisms, and can lead to deep expertise or even career opportunities. Now, I talk about another video, and I'm going to put a link to it. It's going to be up at the end of the screen, so you want to stay for that. Where I do talk about our special interests being superpowers, and those are just some examples. Special interests that we have, like I said, can lead to deep expertise or even career opportunities. I'm just popping into my head, brainstorming here. Let's say your special interest is music and writing and performing music. Who knows? You develop that enough, you might actually become a professional artist who has, a Grammy award winning song. And if you do one, I hope it sounds better than today's current music because I'm an 80s guy and I miss the 80s music. But I digress. Anyway, Most importantly, in my opinion, our special interests can provide structure and comfort in a world that can be overwhelming. That is so true. And I go deeper into that into the other video that I will link at the end of this one, and it will be linked in the video description as well. But yes, this is one of our superpowers of our special interests. Life can be challenging for us on the spectrum, and our special interests should not be a negative. No, it should be a positive. And that special interest can help us manage some of the stress, anxiety, etc., that we experience in our life as autistic adults. Now, special interests are often viewed as useless or impractical and are often dismissed as trivial or irrelevant. Now, that this I think comes more from within autistic adults than from external forces from the Allistics, but it can be a little bit of both. But this is not true. Although a few special interests may be useless or impractical, uh, because they don't really, you can't really see anything great coming out of them. Like, let's say you collect bottle caps, and it's not really going to change the world or anything, but it's still important because that helps you relax. So I really don't think there's any that's, you know, useless or impractical, maybe in the sense of, furthering your life and growing and building a business and all, but, they still serve a purpose. So, although a few special interests may be useless or impractical, although those special interests can serve you in other ways, like I mentioned, even though collecting bottle caps may appear useless and unproductive, it doesn't help you relax. Therefore, it does serve you. Many special interests contribute to your personal growth. It's important. Many special interests will contribute to your personal growth. Many special interests will contribute to your skill development. Let's say your special interest is organizing, okay? And you can get really good at organizing stuff. And maybe you start a business where you go and help people declutter their homes and organize all this stuff. Or even work at a library or somewhere where you can help organize and put the books on the shelves in the right order, the Dewey Decimal System, and all that other stuff. And many special interests can even help you develop professional success and often reflect unique talents that you have and perspectives that you have and how you view the world. So don't dismiss or say, well, this is a stupid special interest. I'm wasting my time on it. Every one of our special interests can serve a purpose in our lives. And some of them are just internal, where it helps us become a better, stronger person, more confident person. And some can be external, where we can actually use these skills to make a difference in our world or in our society, employment, whatever. And some do both. So never write off a special interest just because you think it's useless or pointless, because it could still be serving a purpose. Special interests are always intense and all consuming is another common misconception and stereotype about special interests for autistic adults. But in reality, while special interests can be deeply engaging, we can really get into it and really laser focus on it. You can manage your special interests along other aspects of your life. Like, I mentioned my special interests are collecting buses and playing with them and stuffed animals and all. But and it's a part of my life. But I'm able to do other things. I'm doing these videos. Running a business. I going to be launching a coaching program soon. Be launching a podcast. I have a relationship with my wife. I don't let them consume me, although that can happen at times. It is quite possible you can have a very fulfilling life as an autistic adult with a special interest. And that special interest is not a negative. It's not dragging you down. It's not holding you back. It's actually have many superpowers. Like I said, I know I mentioned it twice, third time. I did a video on that, and I'm going to link to that at the end of this video. So, yeah, the special interests can enhance our lives. They're not a anchor that's holding us back. Now, when you or others think about special interests, a common stereotype is that special interests are always done in isolation, where we have these special interests alone. Okay, like these buses. I mean, I play with them by myself and pet my stuffed animal by myself. But whatever. This is not always true, because while some special interests may be solitary, many involve social engagement, such as joining a club, attending conventions, or collaborating with others who share the same interests. So let's say my special interest was the Big Bang Theory, okay, and that may be pretty popular along the autistic community, and I enjoy watching them and reading stuff about those episodes and being in conversation with it. This is an activity I could do with other people. Connect with other people online or in person that also love the Big Bang Theory. Now I've taken my special interest, instead of sitting in my room by myself, reading about it and writing in a little journal or whatever. I'm sharing that with others, and that means I'm engaging. That means that special interest is not something I do by myself. Now, last, but certainly not least, as an autistic adult, you may encounter someone who may believe that your special interest is a symptom that must be fixed. That is wrong. If someone tells you that, ignore them. Either ignore them or educate them. And you can point them to this video to learn more about autism and special interests. And if they don't get it and they still believe that, this is not somebody you necessarily need in your life. So as I was saying, we may encounter someone who believes that our special interest is a symptom that must be fixed. They may see any special interest that any autistic adult engages in as a problem to be addressed or minimized, especially in a therapeutic context. Do not, allow me to repeat this. This is really important. Tune in. If you're looking at something else on your phone or whatever, stop what you're doing. Listen to this very important message I have. Do not let anyone tell you that your special interest is a problem that needs to be solved. Do not let anyone discourage you from engaging in your special interests, because special interests are a core part of your autistic identity and a core part of your well-being. Any attempt to suppress your special interest or another autistic person's special interests can be very harmful and counterproductive for you or anyone else on the spectrum. This is why it's really important for me to tell you, be proud of your special interests. They are part of you. Embrace them, because that's what they're there for. Now it's your turn. Share in the comments anything you'd like to add to this conversation relevant to special interests. If there's something you heard about special interests that I've not covered in this video, and you would like to know if it's fact or fiction, if it's a misconception, stereotype, or the truth or the reality, share it. I'll try to answer them. Others watching this video may answer it as well. We can all learn together. Now, I may not be able to respond to every single comment, but I do read each and every one of them, and they mean a lot to me. So I appreciate your participation and you joining in the conversation on these videos. So until next time, this is Chris Mitchell, aka the Confident Autistic, reminding you that now is the time for you to embrace autism confidently. When you are ready to discover your superpowers that are hidden in your autistic special interests, watch this video to my right.